Today, I'm gonna try to survive the next 100 days in Minecraft Pixelmon and become the best Pixelmon trainer the world has ever seen. Can I become the greatest to ever do it while also completing a bunch of other extremely difficult goals? Only one way to find out. Let's get into it. On day 1, I spawned in as a Pixelmon noob. For my starter, I decided to go with Sandile and named him Shadies because, of course I did. He's one of the coolest Pokemon ever, and it's a nice little blast from the past for those who know you know, okay? I then started working on a cozy little cabin to call my own. I spent the next few days gathering materials like iron, coal, wood, and stone, and then built it up until our humble little home was complete. But don't worry, we will be making a crazy looking base before the end of this video. Now that we're settled in and safe from the outside world, let's take a second to go over those objectives that I talked about earlier. I mentioned it in the intro, but our main aim is to become a great trainer, and to become a great trainer, we need to defeat a gym leader. And so our first goal is to defeat one gym leader because the gym leaders on this server are just absolutely ridiculous. But I also want to build an epic looking base, revive a fossil Pokemon, catch a legendary, catch a shiny, and beat a world boss. Which you'll see later, those things are pretty crazy. 100 days is a lot of time, but man, some of these goals are pretty hard, so we'll see what we can actually get done. The best part about this is if you like this video, you can come and play along with me right now on the Anubis MC server. Just follow the quick tutorial in the description, and whether you're a veteran or a complete noob, you can easily join me online. You just need to sign on to play.anubismc.com, join the Sword Realm, and then type /warp_Quinn in the chat. I can't wait to see you guys on there, but for now, let's get back to day 5, where I decided to go out exploring and actually catch some of these Pixelmon. The first one I tried to catch was Greavard, and this went super well. Thanks to my login bonus, I already had 10 Pokeballs that allowed me to catch it with ease. I named her Puppervard and continued exploring to catch more Pokemon. The next one I ran into was P-Dove, which I caught and called Dovey. On day 6, I caught a Salandit, then Murky the Murkrow, and finally Barry the Darumaka. And now that we have a full party, on day 7, I thought I'd explore to try to find some cool structures and find some rare loot. I must have run around for at least 1,000 blocks, but on day 8, I eventually came across a desert well. Now, usually these don't have anything in them, but this one was very interesting. It looked like there might have been some secret puzzle to work out here, and I even got a lucky egg. That should help a bunch with leveling up fast, thank goodness. It's just day 8 and this grind is already crazy. I also came across this village on day 9 that was filled with NPCs. This world feels so much more alive than vanilla Minecraft, all the creatures and people running around. I honestly love it. They didn't have too much to say, but it was still cool to see them, I guess. But day 10 was a big one. I tried to take part in a world boss event, an awesome epic battle unique to the Anubis MC server. Everyone around me, including the world boss Kyurem, was way ahead of me in level, so I couldn't do much at all here, but it was cool to see how strong people can be on this server and have something to aspire to take part in these events later. This gave me motivation to work towards my goal, so the next day I began the grind. I spent days 11 and 12 doing some more mining, gathering more materials for the base, for Pokeballs and machines, and just for general Minecraft progression. I ended up with a decent amount of items, but now I needed a way to get infinite Pokeballs so I could catch all these wonderful creatures in this wonderful world. And the way you do that in Pixelmon is by planting some apricorn trees. So on day 13, after finding some apricorns, I planted a bunch of red ones. I would love to get some Ultra Balls too, but I haven't found black and yellow apricorns just yet. Let's hope we find some of those soon. We are gonna need them. On day 14, I wanted to check out the gyms, so I headed over to the Ghost Dark Gym and, level 100. Well, alrighty then. We're not going to be able to take on a gym anytime soon, it seems. On day 15, I actually got super lucky and did find some yellow and black apricorns, so naturally I planted some and turned some into Ultra Balls. 10 should be good for now, we can always get more later. And then it was back to exploring. Exploring is a huge part of Pixelmon. You have to travel to different biomes and even different dimensions to catch them all, so I spent a lot of the next few days traveling around. On day 16, I traveled over vast plains, through dense forests, and over scorching deserts, and then just kept going on day 17. Over snowy cliffs, through spruce villages, and past a ruined portal. I didn't find anything too interesting in this time, but I did fight a few wild Pokemon and leveled up my team a bit before heading home to heal my party. Days 18 and 19 were spent doing even more traveling, and I even made it to the Nether to check out some of the cool Pokemon there. There was a whole bunch of Fire-type Pokemon, Ghost types, Dark types, and for some reason, Steel types. I also found a Bastion which had a bunch of good food and gold inside. After the Nether and once I was home, I caught a Tinkatink which I named Cena, a Salandit called Sarah, and an Electabuzz called Buzzy. But the best part of day 19 was running into this Vanillite boss. You can't catch these Pokemon, so instead I tried to fight it, and yeah, level 84. I had no chance. I didn't even take out half of its HP before my entire team fainted. But that's okay because day 20 was a super exciting one. I actually came into possession of a Cosmic Exotic Egg. This is a super rare item that allows me to roll for a powerful Pokemon at spawn. So naturally, I wanted to do this immediately. I headed to spawn, opened the menu, clicked to roll, and I got a Cosmic Magearna! Oh! Which, of course, someone immediately wanted to trade me for. Yeah, right, buddy. Look how awesome it looks, and it even does a little dance when I give it candies. Adorable! I named it Lily, and then the next day I spent some time leveling up Dovey. I fought some more wild Pokemon and gave him some rare candies until he evolved into Tranquil. And then he evolved even further into Umphazant. Another amazing thing about Pixelmon is, now that I have a big bird on my team, I can actually ride it and fly around on Dovey. This will help massively with exploring. As long as I don't accidentally sneak and fall to my death. Yeah. Anyway, on day 22, I caught a Gabite and spent even more time leveling up my party so I could attempt another gym. I know the last one was level 100, but I wanted to check if they were all gonna be that strong. And spoiler, they are. The gym leader just has some insane Pokemon. I mean, Flutterbane isn't the most OP Pokemon of all time, it's just semi-OP, sure. But they also had a Chien-Pao, a Cerule Edge, and 3 others that I didn't even get to see because they just rolled me before they even got there. It's gonna take a lot of effort to beat this gym leader. Not just leveling, but also EV training and a lot more grinding for just other things as well. So on day 23, I set out to find more battles to take part in to continue my quest to beat a gym leader. Thanks to Dovey's flying, I managed to find this village the very next day. Turns out they have this weird battling arena where you can just fight trainers. Very cool. Unfortunately, these guys are only level 30, so they don't give me much experience, but it was cool to fight an actual trainer, and yes, I demolished them, okay? They stood no chance. On day 25, I decided to take a break from the battling to complete one of our objectives, and that objective is to build an epic base. I chose to build it at the top of this snowy mountain so I could have a sick view to go with my sick house. And for the next 7 days, I gathered materials and built this house from the ground, the hilltop up. It has a nice spruce frame, cobblestone trim, spruce walls, birch flooring, and this awesome balcony. And check out this fireplace. It is so cozy in here, a mountaintop paradise you could call it. I also decorated the place with furniture, paintings, a cool little clock, and more. I genuinely love how this turned out, and I think it looks great, if I say so myself. On day 33, I started working on the roof, but I didn't manage to finish it until day 35. Look at my glorious home, perched perfectly atop this mountain. Who needs supports? Okay? Those are a myth. Foundations are a myth. But while it looks beautiful, it's not yet complete. I still needed to work on the interior a little more before I could truly cross this objective off. So after gathering a whole bunch of materials, I put up some shelves, put up some paintings and item frames, got some plants, and truly made a house a home. It also helped a ton that you can buy certain materials from the shop on the server using in-game currency. I just sold a bunch of items I didn't want and used that money to buy more useful things. It's really easy to underestimate just how much time and effort goes into making a build look nice while also being functional as a survival base. But I think I have built up something that's super cozy, super cool, and basically just a really nice place to live, a place fit for a Pokemon master. So I think it's safe to say that is one of our objectives crossed off, but that took a really long time. I mean, we're already at day 48. I really need to get back to grinding those levels if I'm gonna have a shot at beating a gym leader. And we still need to catch a legendary, catch a shiny, revive a fossil, and challenge a world boss. I mean, technically we did that last one, but I didn't really help out at all, did I? Anyway, with these goals fresh in my mind, I once again went out exploring. The first point of interest I came across was this icy village, which had some trainers to take down. Again, they were underleveled, so it was really easy, or I thought it would be anyway, but these guys actually put up a decent fight. Shadies beat this Linoon easy enough with just one powerful earthquake, and Cena followed up nicely with a Gigaton hammer, taking out Vanillux. Cena also managed to take out Glaceon too, but Bronzong just refused to go down. Gigaton hammer barely did anything to it, and Cena took the fall. Even Lily couldn't do anything against this Bronzong. Thankfully, Chompy is here to save the day, but it's a close one. If Bronzong had higher speed, Chompy would have fallen too. What a scary opponent. Unfezant finished off Chompy, leaving me with just two Pokemon, Dovey and Puppervard. I sent out Dovey for an Unfezant 1v1, and thankfully mine is the superior one. It takes a while, but I chip away at its health with Air Slash, and now I just need to beat Walrein. Oh god, Dovey is nearly dead. Considering most of my party is 10 levels above this guy, this has been a surprisingly close battle. We trade blows back and forth until... Puppervard faints. Yeah... I don't really know how I lost this battle, but don't worry, we'll get much stronger soon so this doesn't happen again. With that defeat fresh on my mind, I spent the next few days exploring even more of this world, battling more wild Pokemon, and becoming stronger than ever. On day 51, I spent some more time trading in the markets and mining for resources until I could make this sick Neoplasma armor. It doesn't make me a better Pokemon trainer or anything, but it does make me look cool as heck. And lesson 1 for you all is that you cannot be a top trainer unless you look the part. With our new fit, we moved on to day 52, which was a very interesting day indeed. I was out exploring once again as usual, but this time I came across something crazy. I randomly found this insane looking airship. I knew I just had to explore this and take any cool loot that could be inside, so I dismounted Dovey, almost died from the fall damage, and went below deck. There wasn't too much loot down here, but in the captain's quarters, there was a rare boss. I, of course, challenged him to a duel, and he's level 76. Okay. I cannot catch a break with these battles. Sandile and my party tried their best, but there was really nothing I could do here. Electra sweeped my entire team. Well, on to day 53, where I decided to head back into the Nether. I wanted to fly around for a while to see if I could find any more cool structures or rare Pokemon, and I did manage to find another bastion, which I almost died in, but I survived thanks to my cool new armor. Those brutes really pack a punch. Inside this bastion, I found a couple cool items like this flame orb and these different gems. I also found a nether fortress and caught this weirdly big Aegislash, and I would say that was a very successful nether run. But day 54 was even cooler. For the first time, I was about to go to a brand new dimension, one that is exclusive to the Pixelmon mod, the Ultra Space dimension. To get to this dimension, you can either catch Arceus, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, or Palkia and get them to spawn the portal, or find a naturally spawning one in the wild. I was lucky enough to find one in the wild right past this Pokestop up against this mountain. I just had to fly into it with Chompy, and here we are. This is actually crazy. The low gravity, the purple fauna, and these weird little structures. Oh, yeah! Yes, a Gigalith? What do you mean? I'm definitely catching this guy. Well, that was fun. I think it's time to head home and... oh! Puppervard is evolving, we love that. Now we have a Houndstone, and he is absolutely gigantic. And finally, I gave my party a bunch of rare candies that I've gathered on my travels, and we're really getting up there in the levels now. It's not gonna be long until we're level 100. Day 55, the day of the surprise. This is, of course, a sponsored video, so naturally the server admins were helpful and gave me a few things to assist in my journey. And it was at this point that they dropped off a whole bunch of really awesome items to help me along. In total, I was given 3 Master Keys, 3 Ultra Keys, 3 Great Keys, 3 Shiny Keys, 3 Exotic Eggs, and some low-level legendaries that I can train up to be the strongest around. So the 3 legendaries that I was given are Palkia, Manaphy, and Necrozma, which, I mean, wow, that's pretty insane, but they're only level 5, so I still have a lot of work to do to get them up to my level. But I guess that is one of our objectives complete, catch a legendary thanks to the server admins. You know, it's hard, okay? I only had 100 days to accomplish these goals. Whatever. If you don't like it, go do your own video. Next, I headed to spawn, and from the exotic eggs, I got Meganium, Croconaw, and Hydreigon. Some super rare Pokemon, which is pretty freaking amazing. We love to see that. Then I got some pretty nice items from the Great and Ultra Keys, and a legendary Tier 5 Incense from the Master Keys. And now for the exciting part. 3 shiny keys, which means 3 shiny Pokemon. I roll for the first one, and it's Spinda? That's officially our first shiny Pokemon, but I don't know. It's just okay. And even though I counted the legendary objective complete, I'm not going to count this one as another objective. I was already gifted a legendary, and I don't want all my goals to be done through gifting. So I'm going to say this doesn't count, and I'll catch a wild shiny Pokemon as soon as I find one. But that doesn't mean I can't celebrate getting a shiny Spinda. I mean, it's pretty cute, right? But of course, we're not stopping there. We have 2 more keys, so I roll again and get shiny Staravia. Pretty amazing. We love a shiny Staraptor, those piercing blue eyes. Oh, and for the last one, I get a shiny Meowscarada, which is actually the coolest of the 3. Meowscarada already looks sick, but a shiny one is just so much cooler. I think I'll name her Mio. Now that we have legendaries in our party, on day 56, I decided to flex a little and fly around on Palkia, which is pretty insane. I also tried my hand at battling some more NPC trainers now that we have such a cool party and all. So I turned my cap around and threw out shadies against this random NPC. Turns out this is an NPC designed to give you extra experience, so it just has 6 Blissies, which means we get a bunch of XP and our Pokemon level up like crazy. From one single battle, Palkia goes all the way from level 5 to level 39, which is pretty insane. So naturally, I spent day 57 battling these Blissies to level up a bunch of my Pokemon and got most of my party to around level 70. On day 58, I realized I still needed to get a fossil and start the reviving process, so I actually used the in-game shop to buy my very own covered fossil, placed it in a fossil cleaner, and a couple minutes later, got a Drake fossil. And now all that was left was to put it in the fossil machine and wait. But instead of just sitting around, on day 59, I went out exploring again, fighting more trainers and leveling up my party. Now finally on day 60, once everyone was around level 80, I thought I'd take another shot at battling a gym leader. This time we attempted the Water Steel leader, and first up it's Palafin versus Shadies. Alright, Wave Crash one-shot Shadies, great. Alright Mio, let's see what you've got. Okay, that's more like it. A powerful Leaf Storm takes out Palafin. Next up is Kartana, and there goes Mio. And Chompy, and Palkia, and, well, everyone. Ugh. These gyms are so hard, man. What is up with this? On day 61, I tried again, but this time against the Dragon Poison gym leader. I thought at least one of these battles would be close, but this guy's lineup was absolutely crazy. He started out straight away with the pseudo-legendary Kommo-o. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Chompy is taken out instantly, and Palkia is hit with a super damaging clanging scales. Fortunately, he just barely clings to life and fires back with the Spatial Rend, one-shotting Kommo-o, which is great, but next out is Eternatus. Yeah. This is quite the sight to behold. Shadies tries his best, but of course he can't stand up against this beast. The same goes for my shiny Mio, and at this point, I know I'm not winning, so I'm forced to forfeit the match. Okay, we'll get there one day, I promise. I then spent the next 3 days exploring, battling, and leveling my party even more until they were all between levels 90 and 100, except for Pupavard, but he'll get there, just give him some time. And on day 64, I actually ran into another super cool thing. I found this random structure with this beam coming out of it, which actually turned out to be a raid. I chose to fight with Palkia, and judging by the levels of the other Pokemon here, I thought I'd actually have a good chance of doing some real damage. I selected Aura Sphere, used it on the giant Zigzagoon, and oh my goodness, I just one-shotted it. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Raid complete. I guess. The next few days were more of the same until day 67 when I got this notification on screen. A world boss event. Finally! Now was my chance to take part in a world boss battle and actually help out. So of course I teleported on over there to face the giant Aggron. And oh my God, the players around me must have had some super powerful Pokemon too, because this Aggron stood no chance. My Palkia hit over and over with Hydro Pump, dealing out massive damage while Aggron's health slowly depleted. 8%, 6%, 2%, 1%, then finally it was done. According to the leaderboard, I managed to take out 10% of his total health, which is not bad, and I'll count that as another objective complete. All we need to do now is wait for the fossil to revive and actually beat a gym leader. And so I waited and waited and waited, and I spent 10 full days basically just waiting for the fossil to revive, but it never did. I went out exploring every now and then to pass the time, but I mostly just waited. On day 77, I realized I couldn't just sit around. I still had to gain a bunch more levels, so I actually invited over some other players to the house to battle me. The first to accept was a player named Diomon, and so they arrived at the house and the battle began. A cool thing about battling versus other trainers in Pixelmon is you can set the level of the battles, meaning even if you're level 1 in that specific battle, you can be level 100, so it's more fair. Of course, that means you can lower a level 100 to a level 1 as well, which would be hilarious, but we decided to fight at level 100, so we picked a random Pokemon to start with, and it ended up being Palkia versus Gengar. I tried to hit with Hydro Pump, but was immediately put to sleep, and when I finally woke up, I flinched. An unlucky start with Palkia going down, but let's see what shadies can do. And I'm asleep again. Oh God, please not the Gengar sweep. Thankfully, Shadies wakes up after not too long, and one foul play is enough to even the playing field. Diomon's next Pokemon out is Tyranitar, and this one was much more close. An Earthquake from Tyranitar deals a hefty amount of damage to Shadies, but my attacks pack a punch too. Unfortunately, Shadies was already a bit low from fighting Gengar, so we don't quite get the kill here, but it's super close. If only our Crocodile was just a little bit faster. Chompy is out next, and ooh, leaves Tyranitar on 4.7% health. That is quite unfortunate. Chompy goes down, and now I'm only left with 3 Pokemon. Of course, Cena finishes off Tyranitar, and then even manages to one-shot Greninja. Could Cena be my MVP, my saving grace? Well, not quite. There's not much she can do against Zamazenta, so she goes down too. Mio does her best, hitting with Leaf Storm, but it's simply not enough. And my final Pokemon, Puprivard, is also taken out with a bite. It was a close battle, but Tyranitar and Zamazenta just proved to be too much. After chatting with Diomon and a couple of other players for a while, I thought I should get back to the grind and start leveling my Pokemon again. I mean, we still need to beat a gym leader before the video ends. So I spent the next 5 days battling wild Pokemon, battling NPCs, using a couple of rare candies, and EV training to make my party even stronger. And on day 83, once all my Pokemon were finally level 100, I tried my hand at a gym once again. This time, the Fire Gym. And this was actually pretty wild. The first out was Charizard, who immediately evolved into Mega Charizard. I didn't even know you could do that in Pixelmon, and it's already an insane start, but even more insane is that despite Charizard healing so much, Palkia actually wins this exchange. Hydro Pump was just too much to handle, and we're already way ahead. Keep in mind that this gym leader only has 4 Pokemon, so we only need to beat 3 more. Next out is Blaziken, who, yes, does take out Palkia and Shadies, but falls easily after taking a dig to the face. We both have just 2 Pokemon left now. It's pretty close. So next out is Volcanion, but that's nothing another dig can't handle. It takes 2 hits, so we do take some damage, but we've now made it to the gym leader's final Pokemon. This could be it. Come on, Chompy. You can do it. Okay, Cerulege is faster than Chompy, so he can't use Dig, which is really unfortunate. Okay, Cena, please, no! Oh, we were so close. But that Cerulege was just too fast and too strong. After this defeat, I tried the Ghost Dark Gym again, but this one went even worse. We got through 4 Pokemon, but this gym has 6. Surely we'll beat one eventually, right? Well, with no more leveling left to be done, I decided to spend more time waiting for the fossil to revive, but 2 days later, it just didn't. I've waited almost 10 hours for this thing to revive, so I think something must have gone wrong. Maybe like a glitch or something, who knows. I'll wait just a little bit longer, but I think I'm gonna have to just swap this for another one. In the meantime, I swapped Chompy for a Necrozma called Nezuma, and Mio for a Torracat, which was aptly named John Cena, which evolved into an Incineroar, making its name more accurate after a few Blissey battles. On day 86, I challenged the Ghost Dark Gym again, and it went horribly. Shadies went down instantly, Cena did a bit of damage, but also died quickly. John Cena didn't last long, and, well, you get it. I only beat 3 of her Pokemon while I lost 6. But thankfully my sadness was short-lived, as that very night, I saw this message in chat. A shiny Vanillite, and it's right in front of me? What are the chances of that? That is insane! Well, that means that we've just completed another objective. We caught a wild shiny Pokemon. I definitely wanted to keep and use this little guy, so I creatively named him Shiny Ice Cream and spent the next few days leveling him up. During this time, on day 90, I decided that I just couldn't wait any longer. I had to buy a new fossil and try to get that one to revive in time. So I bought a Jaw fossil and I put it in the fossil machine. Okay, that's new. Fancy particles and a progress bar? All right. Yeah, something was definitely wrong with the last fossil. I wasted so much time waiting for that. That is so annoying. Anyway, at least we have this one working. And the craziest thing is, it only took 2 days to revive, which means we lost so much time waiting for that other fossil. Oh my god, it drives me crazy thinking about it. But anyway, I put a Pokeball into the machine, and now we have our very own Tyrant, and we've completed another objective. I named him Dinosaurus, and the leveling up process began. But a few days into it, I actually got a notification for yet another world boss. I thought I may as well take part. You can get some cool rewards from it after all, so off I went. And this time, it was a shiny Hisuian Zoroark. These world bosses are such an insane sight. It's so cool that so many trainers can get together and team up in such a giant battle. It's pretty fun. In the end, I didn't actually manage to do all that much, but it was still cool to take part and help out. After that battle, I spent another few days leveling up Dinosaurus even more until finally, he's evolving. Oh, a Tyrantrum, and he's huge, and the best part about it is, I could ride him. Oh, whoa. Yes, feel the wind through my hair. I tried to spend some time leveling him all the way to 100 so we could take on another gym leader, but believe it or not, we've already hit the 100 days mark. We're out of time. We did every single objective we set out to do, except beat a gym leader. We may not be able to beat one today, but I'm definitely not gonna stop trying. So if you want to join me on this server to play alongside me, make sure to follow the instructions in the description so you can play too. Anyway, that's 100 days in Pixelmon. Thanks for watching. Till next time.